Welcome everybody to another look at a new Eureka Classics release, and it is 1992's King of Beggars. So this is directed by Gordon Chan, who also did the fantastic Fist of Legend with Jet Li. And this is a martial arts comedy film clocking in at 100 minutes long. And it stars the likes of Stephen Chow, who is in both of the Royal Tramp films, 1 and 2, as well as From Beijing with Love, Forbidden City Cop, and Kung Fu Hustle. The first three of those films have also been released by Eureka as well. And I also saw Charlotte Chung, who was also in Royal Tramp. She was also in the second film, although in a much smaller role, as well as Last Hero in China and the Kung Fu Cult Master. So this is a film that deals with the character So Chan, who is a naturally gifted martial artist, but lazy, unmotivated, and spoiled by his wealthy parents. He is forced to make something of himself when he falls in love with Yu Shang, a prostitute who agrees to marry him on one condition: that he enters and wins the upcoming Imperial Martial Arts Tournament. So Chan only hopes to win Yu Shang's hand in marriage, but entering the competition soon leads him to becoming embroiled in a bitter feud between the famed Beggar clan and a corrupt government official. So although this definitely has its funny moments, particularly in the first half, it is hardly without its darker and more dramatic aspects, which this mostly manages to balance in an effective manner. So the majority of the darker moments and the more dramatic parts are in the second half of the film. Not to get too heavy into spoilers, but ultimately, our lead character and his father become forced to become beggars, and that's when it becomes more dramatic because our lead character becomes depressed. He's obviously penniless. He's having to beg. He's going hungry. He's getting very a lot of sleep, but not in a hardly a nice place to be doing it. And yeah, that's where some of the more dramatic moments come. But the darker elements come from our villain, who yeah, to have his wizardry kind of powers that he has going on, sacrifices human babies. You don't see it in explicit. Basically, they've got this big mechanism that they put the baby in, and then it squashes it, and all the blood comes out and stuff, and then they drink the blood. That's a real dark moment, and not something I was expecting outside of this, considering it's mostly a martial arts comedy. So yeah, it does have its dark moments like that, but I think, like I said, it mostly balances those in an effective manner. The cast is also great. The pacing is good. The action scenes are excellent with a mix of violence, on-point choreography, and wuxia aerobatics. The violence is violent. You know, it's no less violent than the other films that we've talked about this last few videos. Although surprisingly, it is only rated a 12, which, considering there is a head decapitation in this at least once. There's someone that does get split in half, and there is obviously plenty of people getting killed. I would have expected it to be rated a lot higher than that, but maybe because it is somewhat more in the fantasy realm genre, wuxia genre and such, because obviously they are dealing with like magical powers and stuff like that. Maybe that in terms of context, reduces the effect of the violence. The plot is also engaging, the score is well done, and the production is solid, and it is also well shot, especially when it does come to those action scenes. So, yeah, overall, it gets a really solid 4 out of 10. Sorry, 4 out of 5. I don't rate 10 films out of 10 on this channel. So, yeah, really is a solid effort, and yeah, ranks right alongside the other films that I've seen from Stephen Chow. Not quite as great as the other Gordon Chan film I've seen, Fist of Legend, which I do think he's still his best that I've seen so far. But still, 4 out of 5 is not a bad rating whatsoever. And yeah, like I said, ranks right alongside other Stephen Chow films. So there is the disc with the original artwork on the cover on the case. We also get a booklet with this release as well. So that won't make much sense unless you've seen the film. But there he is in his darker, more depressed moments. And yeah, inside you get your cast and crew. Then you get Gordon Chan, Hong Kong Mature and Scene by Andy Willis. So while the term auteur has become part of the language of film criticism and scholarship, there is another phrase adopted by French critics and closely associated with the development of the idea of the auteur at Cahiers de Cinema that has largely fallen from use. Mature and Scene, adopted by writers such as Andre Bazin, Jacques Rivière, Francois Truffaut, and later the American critic Andrew Serres. It is used to describe film directors whose work might not reach the heady heights of personal expression achieved by an auteur, but who are skillful practitioners. Their mastery of cinema allowing them to consistently deliver films of great quality. So yeah, that's where that meaning comes from. We do also have shots from the film as well as a shot of the director himself. Like I said, shots from the film as well. Yeah, more shots from the film. So Stephen Chow in both of those. And we also have viewer notes as well. So the film is presented in the 185 to 1 aspect ratio. So adjust your screen accordingly if you need to. And then on the disc itself, we've got a 1080p high definition presentation on Blu-ray from a new 2K restoration. Looks and sounds really, really good. You've got Cantonese audio, the original stereo presentation, as well as optional English dub and optional English subtitles, newly translated for this release. Then you've got new audio commentary with East Asian cinema expert Frank Yang, Kung Fu Scholar, an interview with director Gordon Chan, So Chan and Stephen Chow, new video essay by East Asian cinema scholar Gary Bettinson, who is co-editor of the cinema of Stephen Chow. Then you got the original theatrical trailer as well. And the new artwork is done by Sam Gilby. So yeah, I really like the new artwork. Eureka really do knock it out of the park with their new artworks with these slipcovers for these single disc releases at the very least. So yeah, really, really like that. That would make a really good poster, but unfortunately we don't get such a thing with Eureka releases. But yeah, overall, a really, really solid effort and a good release overall from Eureka. So yeah, it's a solid start to the year from them. Hopefully they do get better, although we already know a couple more that they are releasing, and they've got a new box set coming out, which is another one from CCC. We've had several of films box sets from Eureka last year that were all excellent for the most part. So yeah, really looking forward to that. We're also got in it's a 4K release that is currently slipping my mind. But yeah, there's obviously going to be more to look forward to from Eureka in the rest of this year. But this, on the whole, is still a solid start from them. So yeah, definitely looking forward to what else they're going to release in this year. But nonetheless, if you have seen King of Beggars, then I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.